Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel JI Colorist. Today we are going to take a look at the Mythographic Cosmic Spirit book. It is by Fabiana Attanasio. This is my one and only book by Fabiano, and this is an untouched coloring book. I plan on doing my first page for our animals of the Zodiac. This is the last month for this series, so yay, we've made it. And this month it is Sagittarius, and the Sagittarius animal symbol is a centaur. So the best one that I had out of all my coloring books was this one, and it looks pretty incredible to say the least. So I wanted to show you what this looks like before I started to color it. I'm going to go ahead and color the background and get some of this foliage and done, and then I'll come back and we will color the centaur together. I might throw in a few clips of me coloring in some background with maybe a little bit of music to go with that. We will look up a little bit of the Sagittarius and why it is a centaur, because I'm interested in finding that out since I don't have a birthday in December. I do want to wish all my fellow colorists that do celebrate a birthday in December, though, happy birthday. I hope you have a fabulous month. I hope you have a great day. I hope you do some coloring on your birthday, or at least do something fun and relaxing. All right, let's get down to it. There seems to be a lot going on this page, and sometimes I think you just need to start with one element and follow it kind of all the way through. So I may start off with doing the lanterns with the lights shining around them and figure out the background. I plan on using either some Inktense or some alcohol markers. This is a single-sided book, and so that is a nice option for me for a change, and I won't have to worry about water mediums spreading or anything else. So let's get to it, and like I said, I'll bring you back periodically to show you a little bit of the background and what I'm doing for that before we get down to coloring the actual centaur. So my first couple of items that I've done on the page are two of the lanterns. This first lantern I did with, I started basing it with the Copic markers, and then this one I did just with pencil, and clearly I'm better with just pencil still, so that's probably what I'll continue to do, but I am going to try and use the markers a bit more than I have been in the past, so I will keep trying and getting a little bit better hopefully over time. But yeah, so this is marker with pencil crayon around and some pencil crayon for blending, and this is just pencil crayon, so, or colored pencil, and I've been using the Chromos. Change up the yellow a little bit here, doing yellow around here, and then I will have to figure out what else will go behind it, but I want to at least reserve this aura around for now. So that is my first part on the centaur. All right, I have completed the background basing. I may come in with colored pencils later, but this is the first time I've ever actually done a fully alcohol background. I used some Copic markers. I used the colors Hydrangea Blue BV13, Prune BV02. For the darkest purple, I used Violet 17, which is Amethyst, and then for the blue, I used B23, which is Phthalo Blue. And yeah, so this is how it's looking so far. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and do the gold. So I'm going to do the stars, and I wasn't sure if I should do the stars in gold and then this in black or silver, or should I do it all in gold? I'm not sure. So I think I'm going to start. I'm using my 12 well Meeden palette. This is the lid for it, and this is what the little palette looks like. on its own. So you can use both this or the top. So I quite often will use both, and today I'm going to use the palette. I've got some Fine Tech Arabic Gold, and I am just activating it. So I've put some water in it, and I'm just waiting for it to get ready. I've got a super tiny paintbrush. This is a 10/0 Artist Loft, and it's for detailing. This is how it's looking so far. I had a little drop of blue on there, so I took a colorless blender and tried to get it off, and kind of left a bit of a stain. So that should be covered up once we do colored pencil on top of it. But right now I've got just these done in colored pencils, and the rest is in alcohol markers. So we're going to have a bit of a mixed media as per usual for what we're doing, but I thought I would bring you back and at least show you kind of where I'm starting from. So definitely going to do the stars in the gold, and I'm still, like I said, trying to figure out whether or not I want the lines to be gold as well. So I'm going to lower the camera, and we'll do a few stars together, and we'll learn a little bit more about the Centaur. We're first going to talk a little bit about Sagittarius and why the Centaur is depicted as their animal. And then after that, we're going to play some Trivial Pursuit from World of Harry Potter, because there is magical beings in there. If I do one good coat of the watercolor, I shouldn't hopefully need to come back and do a second one. So that's why I'm taking my time and doing a good first coat. I'm keeping within the black lines because I do want the stars to be outlined in black. Okay, I will finish off these stars. And the FinTech gold is quite a nice shiny gold. I thought about using the Winsor Newton ink, but I have the watercolors and thought I should make use of all of my supplies. All right, I've made a decision. I am going to use my purple glaze pen to do the lines in between the stars that make up the constellation for Sagittarius. And I'm just gonna go off of what I kind of feel like, and I just kind of feel purple. So I'm even wearing a purple shirt today. Sagittarius the Archer. Adventurous, athletic, and wild, people born under the sign of Sagittarius scatter interests like arrows and often provide something of a roller coaster ride in relationships. A sign of the fire element, Sagittarius value excitement and adventure above all else. This is the last little piece of the Sagittarius constellation. All right. There we are, and I did find one more star I had missed at the top of his head. So those are all of the things. I'm going to do the Sagittarius in gold, so I'll do that next. Since I still have a bunch of the gold ready, and I do have a tiny paintbrush, I'm just going to go ahead and do the word Sagittarius in gold as well. Symbols commonly associated with the centaur include the bow and arrow, which represents their skill in hunting and warfare, and the jug of wine, symbolizing their association with Dionysus, the god of wine and revelry. So I'm not exactly sure what all of these bubbles are on the page, but I've decided to do them in a blue-violet flash, and it's Folk Art Color Shift paint. And so I'm just going in with the paintbrush and painting all of the circles this blue-violet flash. And this is what it looks like on the palette. And this is what it looks like on the paper. Hoping that it looks good, but we'll soon see. And if it doesn't end up looking nice, then we can always cover it with something else, or we can come back in and give it some white highlights. But so that's what those are. And then these star-like things here. Not sure if I want them to be left white, or I don't want them to be gold. I want the only things to be gold to be the stars on the constellation here. And then we will be ready to tackle the Centaur himself. And I think that this is actually his top of his back leg. I thought it was part of the sky, but I think it's his back leg. So because this leg morphs into a tree trunk, so I think this tree trunk is actually his other back leg. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of brown. Should definitely cover up blue, so not too worried about that. Okay, let's start on the actual Centaur. I have got a Copic Chow in E21 is the number, and it is called Soft Sun, and I am going to base his skin in that. And I've never done this before, so we will base his skin, and then we will probably come in with some pencils. Centaurs are also skilled in archery, healing magic, divination, and astronomy. Centaurs were highly intelligent and proud beings. The purple has totally dried, so that's good. Not sure what color hair we're going to give him. Probably quite dark, I would think. I'm going to have to do the lower half of his body in a dark enough color to cover up that splotch. Leave it to me to make a mark that leaves a big splotch on the page. Seems that's kind of the normal for me of late. Okay, I think I have got all of his skin done. Still haven't figured out what color to do the flowers and stuff, but we'll get there. All right, let's pick some colors for the brown here. Okay, I've picked a few colors. I'm going to go with his hoofs being cool gray number 3. In astrology, Sagittarius is the 9th sign of the Zodiac. It runs from November 22nd to December 21st. It is represented by a centaur shooting a bow and arrow, or by an arrow drawn across a bow. So he's just got the 2 front hooves, and the back legs are wood. Got a couple of browns here. Just been putting them on a piece of paper. So this brown here is E71, and it is called Champagne. So it's kind of a light brown. This one is definitely a darker brown. This is E57, and it is called Light Walnut. And then this one here is even lighter, and it is Chamois or Chamois, and it is E35. And the E stands for the Earth series. Then I also have E31, which is Brick Beige, and that's even lighter. So those are the browns that I do have. And I think what I'm going to do is base it and then come in with color pencil. I think that I want the darkest color to be the wood. That's his bottom legs. And then I'm going to come in and do some more shading with my Chromos. Okay, now I'm going to do this leg as well. And remember, this blue part here is the top of his leg. So I'm going to have to color that in brown and hopefully hide the fact that I thought it was sky to start with. For the rest of the video, we are going to play some Trivial Pursuit from the world of Harry Potter, and I'm going to be selecting questions from the Animals and Magical Creatures section. Question number 1. What type of creature saves Harry from Voldemort in the Forbidden Forest? Answer to question number 1. If you said a centaur, you would be correct. Question number 2. Which creature helps Dumbledore escape from his office after being threatened by the Minister for Magic? And the answer to that question is Fawkes the Phoenix. Question number 3. How do Harry and his friends travel to London in order to save Sirius Black? Answer to question number 3 is flying on thestrals. Okay, that's the base, and we are going to have to do some pencil crayon on top, so not to worry. Hopefully it's not going to continue looking so poorly. I'm just going to put in the highlight area over here on the tail. Okay, let the alcohol absorb into the paper a bit, and I'll pull out some Polychromos pencils and we will start doing some coloring on top of the alcohol marker. Okay, I'm ready to tackle some of this Centaur with some colored pencils. I have Faber Castel Polychromos Light Flesh, which is 132. I'm not sure that it's still called Light Flesh anymore, but my pencils, that's what it's still called. And I'm just going to add some shading on the bottom of his arms and kind of come up. I'm not an expert. I don't do a lot of portraits. It's kind of where I think there should be a bit of shadow. I'm going to bring in this. Trivia question number 4. Which creature does Professor Lockhart introduce as part of his first defense against the dark arts lesson? Answer to question number 4 is Cornish pixies. There's some illustrator's lines. I'm just putting some shadow where those lines are. Apparently he has a 6-pack or a 4-pack. Definitely not going to put colored pencil everywhere. I'm just enhancing or trying to define a few areas, that's all. Okay, let's leave that for now. We can always come back and do more later, but for this area down here, zoom you in a little bit, where I accidentally colored his back leg, I tried to use some brown to lighten up the blue, and it ended up kind of going yellow. So what I've done is I've brought in my Durant Chinese White 7200, and I've just added some white on top of that just to try and kind of neutralize some of that color, so I can come in with Polychromos pencils on top, and I'm hoping I can turn it to be brown again. It's a little bit hard sometimes to figure out what is what, so let's take a look at my pencils and pick some browns. So these are the browns that I have, and okay, I've selected brown ochre 182, and I'm just going to go in and put some shading where there's illustration and hairlines on the horse or the centaur. Question 5. What type of dragon is Norbert? So I want to be able to put in some hair. Answer to 5. Norwegian Ridgeback. This splotch here, it's been covered up pretty good. So I think I'll just add a bit more, just trying to put the strokes in the same direction as the hair would go. Question 6. What item of clothing does Harry cleverly force Lucius Malfoy to give Dobby? Now for this down here, I'm going to put in some of this brown color. And then I'm going to deepen it up with another brown, but I'll just get a few layers on there if possible. Okay, this one is burnt sienna. Yeah, that's better. I'm going to come in with this same burnt sienna and just put in a few shadows along this wood here. The answer to question number 6 is a sock. So anywhere there's some shading or shadows, I'm just adding a bit of the brown, the darker brown. So this is green gold, and it is 268. And I also am still using the brown ochre 182 and the burnt sienna 283. So between those three. Question 7. Who does Harry hear singing when he opens the golden egg under the water? I wanted these other trees just in pencil, so that the like all of these other tree trunks and stuff are a little bit lighter than the legs, so that the legs still stand out as if they are his legs. Answer to question 7. Harry hears mer people singing. Okay, let's do a little bit more work on this guy. Question number 8. What is the name of Argus Filch's cat? Question 8 answer is Mrs. Norris. I'm going to also bring in the green gold and put some of those strokes in here. Maybe lighten up this area a little bit. Question 9. What should you never do to a hippogriff, as they are a very proud creature? Question 9 answer is insult them. That makes sense to me. All right, let's work on his tail a bit. And on the lightest areas, I'm going to use the green gold. Question number 10. Which creature aids in the escape of Harry, Ron, and Hermione from Gringotts? Question 10 answer is a dragon. Not sure that looks any better or worse, but I'm definitely not an expert on hair. Maybe in 2025 we'll work on hair and do some tutorials. I'll need to take some tutorials, not give them. This is probably more of a exercise in what not to do. All right, I'll go ahead and finish this wood over here using these same 3 colors probably, and I'll be back. Okay, bring you back and show you where I'm at. I have done a few things, and I have just left the hair on the top of our centaur's head because I've been putting it off and I'm a little bit nervous. So I'll show you what I've done to the page since we last talked. I ended up deciding to do the flowers in yellow. I haven't done yellow flowers for a long time, and I wanted them to kind of maybe tie in to the yellow up here and bring it down the page and not have them be a total focal point. So I used 2 Copic sketches I used YG0000, so like 4 zeros, and it's called Lily White. And then I also used Mimosa Yellow YG00. And then I came in with a Polychromos pencil and did a little bit more shading. So I'll zoom you in. And then I put gold in the center of the flower. So those are what I did for the flowers. And I think that I'm happy with them. They turned out okay. I used some pigment markers to do the leaves. Happy with those. I did this symbol right there, and I'm not really happy with how that turned out. I wanted it to blend in, but I didn't want it to blend in, so I'm not really sure if I need to add some clear stickles or some clear gel to that to make it lift off the page a little bit, but we'll see at the end. For the circles where I had used the color shift paint, they're kind of like bubbles all over the page. I have taken a Dollar Tree silver gel pen and just drawn around it. I also drew around the lantern's auras and covered up the black line that was there. So I did that on all the lanterns. Basically anywhere there was little dots, I also filled in with that silver. And then for around the actual lanterns themselves, if you notice, they kind of shimmer a little bit. There, you can see it shimmering there. I used some Craft Smart metallic acrylic paint in white pearl, and it's very sheer, so I just went right over top of the yellow area and some of the lantern parts as well. So that is how I kind of made them shine and shimmer a little bit and dulled down just the bright yellow part. So that's where we're at. I actually am liking the background. I think that I may just leave it as is. I don't know if I'll come in and do some stuff. I did some, there's beads through this fellow's hair, so the end has a larger bead, so I did those in purple glaze, and I used some sparkle gold and silver metallic pens just to do the bead part. So I wasn't really sure what to do with those beads, and I'm really, like I said, I'm nervous about doing his hair just because it's so small, and I mean, I want it to be good. My mom said to leave it white, but I'm like, he can't have white hair up here if he's got dark hair down here, so that's not gonna happen. So let me drop the camera, and I have decided to skip the alcohol markers and just do my Polychromos pencils. So I've got a selection of browns here that I have used elsewhere on the page, so it won't be introducing any new colors, which I think is important. Also like how my bow turned out here. I have a light on one edge to get the light cast from the lanterns, and there's also light up here. So yeah, I'm happy with how this page is turning out, and glad that this is my first page in the book. I'm glad that I just jumped right in and we're getting it done. So let me lower the camera and we'll do his hair together. Okay, I guess what I want to do is kind of pick out some highlight areas. So for me, that'll be at the top of and also maybe at the front here where he's going to be he's got light sources coming from both sides, so it's a little bit more difficult, but we will do what we can. I haven't put any silver right here because I knew I wasn't done with this area, so I will have to come back in with the gel pen to do the silver there. Okay, and then this is my next latest color. So that was my green gold 268. The next color is brown ochre 182. And those two colors go well together. Next color in line is raw umber 180. Question 11. What form does Professor Snape's Patronus take? Then I have burnt sienna 283, Question 11 answer is a doe. And my last color is burnt umber. I think it's 280. It's all scratched off, so not sure. I did lose somewhere on my desk my light flesh, so I had to go out and get my other light flesh, and the new name of this is actually called beige red. So 132 used to be called light flesh, and now it's called beige red. So I knew that they had renamed it, but I didn't exactly know what it was called. So yeah, interesting. So I'm going to blend with the lightest color. So once I've done placing down some color, I'll come back with that. Again, I am not an expert on hair, so this is not a tutorial on how best to do it. This is just how I'm muddling through. Okay, I will keep going. So what I'm basically doing is these areas where the hair is gathered in together, it'll be a little bit darker there. So that's where I kind of put some of my darker shades. Start with the lighter shade and then I'll come in even with a little bit darker and go over top. And usually have more room to do some flicking motions, but this is such a small, tiny area that it's kind of hard to do that. So the light is hitting here, so that's why these areas are hopefully going to be a little bit lighter than the rest of the hair, but we will do one last question for trivia. So question number 12, what type of animals carry posts and packages in the Wizarding World? The answer to question number 12 is owls. And those are all the trivia questions for today. I hope you enjoyed the trivia. If you do, leave a comment below so I know to do this again in the future. All right, I'll finish off the rest of this and be back when we're done. All right, here is the hair finished. Not really sure that I like the silver bead, so I actually might take a little micron and just add a couple of darker spots so that not all the beads are silver and gold. Just to separate them a little bit, because they just to make them, just adding a little bit of lines in between the beads. Okay, not sure that helps or not, but just kind of breaks them up a little bit. Okay, let's zoom out and see how this page is looking and if we need to add anything else. All right, here is how the page has turned out. I did a little bit more shading on this Sagittarius symbol. Not sure that I still really like it. I'm not sure what to do to fix that. If I go ahead and put some kind of glittery Mod Podge dimensional magic on it, it'll make it shiny, but it's also wooden and old looking, so I don't think that would really go. So I'm just going to leave it for now. Maybe when something will come to me in the future to what to do with it. I think I am happy with the page overall. What do you think? Do you think that this was a success? Do you think that for the first page, still learning alcohol markers, so definitely, and still learning how to do people hair. Fur, I think I got down throughout the year. I've done a lot of fur this year, so I'm happy with that. But oh, I do see a spot that missed some. Okay. All right, now I think we're done. I think whenever you come and look at a page and then go away and come back, you see more things that you can do to it. So tune in at the end of December in case I've made any changes to this page. But this is where I'm going to leave you off for today. Thank you so much for joining me on this epic series of learning all about the different zodiac animals. We have done one a month for 12 months. So yay, we are done the series. Thank you so much for coming and supporting my channel and my videos by liking and commenting. And if you enjoyed this, share it with a friend that you think might also enjoy learning about the different zodiac animals. All right, until next time, I hope you're having a creative and colorful day. And I will see you in 2025 with all new coloring topics. All right, everyone, take care. Bye-bye.